Imagine being handed a whiskey bottle before you could walk. Imagine growing up thinking blackouts were normal. Now imagine discovering a family secret. So dark it makes your trauma feel like the tip of the iceberg. My name's Mark ... And this is how I turned the poison they gave me into the weapon that destroyed them. If you've ever been underestimated, mistreated, or used by the very people who were supposed to protect you, hit that like button, subscribe, and brace yourself. Because this revenge wasn't just payback, it was legacy shattering. I was raised in the kind of family that hides rot under charm. We were Southern, polished, Sunday church, bless your heart Southern. And my family had a tradition one they'd brag about like it was some quirky joke. Start 'em early, they'd laugh, as they dipped a baby bottle in whiskey and handed it to me, their newborn son. At first, it was just sips. By the time I was 6, I could pour a glass for Grandpa and myself without spilling a drop. By 11, I'd started sneaking drinks without needing a reason. By 13, I didn't even think twice about the pounding headaches or memory gaps. It wasn't addiction, it was just family. But here's the twisted part, they knew. They wanted it that way. It was control masked as culture. You're a Lannister, my father would say, puffed up with bourbon breath. We hold our liquor, and we hold our secrets. Only I wasn't holding either. Not for long. High school was a blur of shame and confusion. I'd wake up on rooftops, in ditches, even once in a stranger's garage. My friends thought it was funny until it wasn't, until I passed out in class. And the nurse found my blood alcohol level high enough to hospitalize me. CPS was called. My parents. They put on the show of the decade. Crocodile tears. We didn't know. And somehow, they spun it to look like I was the problem. I got sent to rehab at 16, alone. Ashamed, confused, angry. But in rehab, something shifted. I met a counselor, Miss Allen, who looked me dead in the eye and said, "You didn't fail them. They failed you." For the first time in my life, someone saw the chains around my ankles and didn't call them jewelry. That's when the seed of revenge was planted. Fast forward, I got clean, worked my way through night school, studied addiction psychology, became a therapist specializing in intergenerational trauma. But all that time, one thing festered. Why? Why did my family treat me like an experiment in emotional ruin? So I went digging. And what I found, it shook me. While helping my aunt clean out my late grandfather's attic, I found a weathered box labeled simply Covenant. Inside were photos, letters, old tapes, and a ledger. Turns out, the family tradition wasn't just tradition. It was damage control. 3 generations of my family had been involved in backroom deals with politicians, private rehab clinics, and get this, insurance fraud.